I'm stopping for tonight. Here is where each of them are either finished or half done. And I'm going to talk about the lessons I learned today in painting with Jesus. Number 1, I can't do anything without him, even painting. And it's not as good when he's not with me anyway, I guess. Number 2, perfectionism kills the joy of a lot of things. And I've been actually surprised that the things that have looked better in this have been the less perfect things. I've learned that I'm impatient and don't like to wait for things to dry, and I feel like there's other things I'm patient with, but not this. So I'm making myself stop on 2 of them so that I have time to think or relook at it with a fresh eye tomorrow. I have also learned that a lot of times simplicity looks prettier. So the biggest one for me is these 2. This one looks way better, and the lesson I think that I learned through it is that artistically, less apparently can be a lot more. Same with this one when I'm just leaving them, although I don't know how long I'll leave them. But also with these 2, that brush strokes matter. And so this part, these were pretty in here, and I did too much. And then this one, it looks artsier without doing too much. And I'm not done yet. Once again, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm making myself wait. But I really like the effects where there's not stuff, where there's space. And what I learned, I think, about God in this stuff is that, again, brush strokes matter, and more isn't always better. And so I would like to hopefully be a person of simplicity and measured brush strokes, and to realize in life more isn't always better. Sometimes it's just more. And yeah, and then also learning that waiting for things to dry. So I'm not done with this and I want to come back in, but it's really, well, some of it's really messy in a good way, but like I kept trying to do the next layer without waiting, and sometimes that looks cool, but in the end I just ended up doing a bunch of layers that ended up looking like the last layer. And so I think from this one, and I'm not done, maybe I will be because I'm frustrated, is that timing matters, and that I basically, I think it died. I don't know how much more we have. But from this one, learning that like to space things out in time, and perhaps God is like this. Like when I'm like, God, why aren't you doing something right now? Maybe he's letting that layer set and dry, and that it'll actually be prettier if time is taken. And I don't like time. I want him to do things like heal me and heal me What else? My God, let me think real hard. Heal me! I don't know what he's doing. I don't know the story there. But what I learned today from art is that at least sometimes you have to wait for things to dry, and it looks better. And that even though I did 4 cool layers, because I didn't wait for things to dry, I almost only achieved what 2 layers would have. So maybe in life, if I pace things out, I could have well, I guess just 2 things. My mind blanked out. I'm really tired. So whatever I said, that's it. To live a paced life where I allow things to dry, to allow for the fact that perhaps God is letting things dry, and that makes a layer better. And that sometimes doing 4 things really fast might end up looking like doing 2 things and waiting in between. I don't know if that's always true and how it's applied, but those are today's musings. And again, here are today's paintings. The chick with a headband, not quite finished yet. The fashionista that I overworked. The fashionista that I'm allowing to wait until tomorrow. And the other one I'm allowing to wait till tomorrow in an effort to not go overboard when simplicity or what I've done might be prettier than the other thing. And thus, what if with God, when we think, why aren't you doing more? I need you to stroke this and stroke that and stroke this, like brush strokes. And what if it's like, it's prettier when there's less brush strokes, but they're intentional, they're in the right color with the right brush and the right shading at the right time. I don't know. I also learned everything's better with God. I asked him to paint with me and he did, and it's way better than painting by myself. I remembered one other lesson I learned today. Sometimes when you keep making a bunch of crap, then go back and do what you're good at, and maybe it'll make you feel a little better. So I drew an ugly monster woman face today. I overworked a painting, did another one that wouldn't dry, and then I just did 2 more that were like simple, but I had done well before, and I like them. So maybe that's like a life thing. If you keep trying something and it's crap and you're frustrated, because I was super frustrated, I'm still mad, go back and do the thing you were good at. I just went and looked at what this picture looked like before I overdid it, which in all fairness, I accidentally made the hat a little bigger, so I had to make the head bigger, so then I had to change the arms. But I am blown away at how awesome it really did look. When I look at that picture, it's like really good, and this is not. And that I made this thing from the other thing just because I overdid it. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look, kids, at the one picture, the before one, and let's look at this. It's so sad. It's so sad.